Alrighty, boys. So listen, give me the next 15 minutes or so and I'll kill your scarcity mindset for good, okay? So if you're running an agency and you're still stuck between like 5 to 20 or even 30K a month, the reason why you're stuck is purely because of this one thing, okay? Your nervous system is addicted to needing shit, okay? Needing the client, needing the Stripe notification, needing the next invoice to essentially feel safe, okay? So, boys, if you watch this video till the end, like I can promise you that you'll stop operating like a broke little boy and you'll start operating like the guy who does 20, 50, 100K months as a baseline, and reality will start reflecting it, okay? I'm literally gonna give you the exact perspective shift and the internal exercise to essentially flip this and get rid of your scarcity mindset, okay? So if you, for example, refresh Stripe 20 times a day, maybe check your DMs or emails hoping that maybe someone replied from cold SMS or someone booked a call, or for example, you actually get a booked call and suddenly your entire mood depends on whether that guy's gonna show up or not. Or for example, if a prospect ghosts you and you spiral into a fuck ton of doubts, right? Like maybe this isn't going to work, okay? That is scarcity, okay? And I've literally never met an agency owner in this space who didn't have this when they were stuck, okay? Like everyone that's winning at a high level, me, Pranav, the mentees we got in quantum consulting, that's all scaling to like 50, 100K months. Like we literally all had to kill this pattern, okay? Because if you don't kill that pattern, I don't care how many cold SMSs you send, you will self-sabotage, okay? You will chase the client, you will undercharge, and you will stay stuck, okay? So in this video, I basically just want to break down a bit in depth what scarcity mindset actually is to the root and how it shows up in your agency on a day-to-day basis, and how to essentially flip it into abundance as an identity, not just, forcing positive thinking or any dumb shit like that, So let's keep this stupidly simple here, okay? So scarcity mindset is essentially you saying my safety or my sense of self-worth or my status is at risk unless X thing happens to you. If I don't get a client this week, I'm fucked. If I don't, close this prospect, I'm cooked, right? If this month isn't bigger than last month, I'm a failure, like all sorts of stuff like that, okay? Scarcity is basically when your safety is tied to an outcome, okay? And your brain and nervous system literally make your sense of I'm okay depend on something you cannot control at all. Like how fucked is that, right? It relies on if you sign clients, like how much revenue you're doing this month and so on. And when that happens, you start operating from this identity of neediness, right? So you start acting in alignment subconsciously with that, okay? And that's why you over-explain or try to become friends with the prospect on the sales call. You chase these prospects, you charge less just this one time just to get some quick cash in, or you're accepting red flag clients, for example, or working from anxiety and doubts instead of flow, essentially. Like trust me, it's not that you're lazy or undisciplined, okay? You're literally just operating from fear. Like your entire internal is basically coded like, if I don't get this, I'm gonna die, right? And when you operate from that, of course you're gonna act like a fucking desperate idiot, bro. Like obviously. Now, let me break down scarcity into 3 core pieces here as well, so you can actually see it when it's running you, okay? There's 3 main things that goes into scarcity mindset, okay? You have importance inflation and identity lag and external safety. So for example, importance inflation is that you take an outcome and you blow it the fuck up in your mind, okay? You say that I need this client, I need this month to be my first 20K, I need this ad to start working, or my client's gonna be pissed, for example. And when you speak, think, and basically act and operate from that on a daily basis, you inflate so much importance that it creates a massive energetic charge, okay? And if you see in the other video I have about reality transurfing, then you already know that that's gonna create excess potential. And what happens when there's excess potential? Well, the universe will basically do everything it can to balance it out, because the universe obviously wants you to be in equilibrium at all times. So it's gonna balance it out with all sorts of negative shit that's gonna happen to you. The prospect is gonna ghost you, some random bullshit is gonna come up, and purely because you made it too important, okay? You put the outcome on a pedestal. You only pedestalize things you deep down don't believe you're worthy and deserving of, okay? Now, the second thing is identity lag, okay? And that is when your self-image, the image you have of yourself subconsciously, is still I'm the guy trying to get to 10 or 20 camel, okay? Instead of I am the guy who's already there and I'm scaling to 50 camel. If you don't switch that, you will never ever fucking get there, bro. You will never get to that 10, 20 camel, whatever goal you're after, okay? Because if your identity is stuck at I'm the guy hustling to get there, then anything that looks like I'm already there feels unsafe to your nervous system. So obviously you won't get there, right? And that's why you'll subconsciously self-sabotage when a big opportunity comes through the door. Like you'll subconsciously only put in a little bit of effort so you can protect your story of I'm the one trying to get there, okay? That's essentially identity lag. And as you know as well, time isn't linear. And you believing that you're not the person who's at your goal right now basically means that you will never get to that goal, okay? Because again, time isn't linear, right? The only moment we have is the present moment. It's literally the present moment right now, okay? And everything in our external is literally a direct reflection of your internal right now at this present moment, bro. Your identity, your self-image, your beliefs that you're having about yourself, all of that, okay? And that's why you must change it and start believing that you are at your goal right now, and then you set another goal that you put importance on instead. Now, the third thing is external safety, okay? And this is literally like the fucking killer. And that's you saying that you only feel safe if you close a client, if Stripe is looking good this month, if the appointments are being booked, and your safety is essentially conditional, okay? Like you basically say that I'm okay if Stripe says, you know, X amount of revenue, okay? That's scarcity, okay? Because your nervous system is outsourcing safety to shit you can't even control in the first place, you know? Like it doesn't make sense, right? Like bro, I just want you to understand the full loop here, okay? So you can see the full picture, because once you see it, you can't unsee it, okay? So let me just give you like a rough example here as well. For example, if you think that I need this client, that thought itself is going to create importance, and that importance is going to create an energetic charge, okay? And reality, the universe, basically balances out that charge with friction, okay? So the client is going to no-show on the onboarding call, they never pay the invoice, or some random shit happens and the deal falls through. And when that happens, your brain basically goes, see, I don't have clients, it's not working. And it basically views the external thing as proof, okay? And that basically becomes proof in your mind of your old identity, which basically believes that I'm the guy who struggles, who needs money, who needs a client. And you repeat this cycle basically over and over again with the next prospects. And the thing is, you definitely repeat that pattern with clients, women, money, all of that, okay? Because if you do it in one area, you're gonna do it in all of them, okay? You're gonna leak energy all over the place essentially. And then you start wondering why nothing is working out for you, okay? Because it's purely because you have safety tied to an outcome, which, you know, creates importance, and then some bullshit is gonna happen, like a negative thing, and you basically look at that as proof, and your old identity basically gets reinforced, right? So the belief becomes stronger and stronger and stronger, and the cycle continues over and over again until you essentially just give up, right? And so the thing is, like, you're not stuck because the niche might be saturated. You're simply stuck because your identity is saturated with tons of scarcity. And that's why you have to change it to having an abundant mindset, okay? And not this, you know, fucking cringe vision board bullshit you see online by all these fucking geeks and gurus and all that nonsense, okay? Because abundance is simply safety coming from within, basically your internal, instead of outcomes, okay? So it's literally the complete opposite, alright? It's flipped on 180 degrees and fucking spun around 3 times, alright? So scarcity is basically like, if they pay me, I'll feel safe. But abundance is, because I already feel safe, the right people are gonna pay me. You know, I don't give a fuck, right? There's no importance at all. But another example is like, if I close this, then I can feel calm. You know, that's scarcity, right? But abundance is like, because I'm already calm, I close what's aligned and I'm good either way, right? Abundance is the absence of need. Like, trust me, you still want to be, you know, ambitious as fuck and, you know, want 50, 100k months, supercars, first class flights, you know, whatever kind of feels aligned within for you, but you don't need any of it to feel safe right now at this present moment. Like, you still show up, you execute, you know, you do your actions, and you play the game from overfill, not from lack. So instead of chasing, you magnetize instead, right? You attract. and you're not trying to prove you're enough through your agency. You're basically letting your agency be the natural expression of someone who's already enough. All right, and that's essentially the shift right there. Now let me give you like a little practical example as well, so you can generally feel and understand more in depth what I'm actually like yapping about here. So imagine this, right? You get a phone call right now. I don't know where my phone is, but you get a phone call, right? And it's some super legit lottery company, you know, like the number is legit and verified, and you know, everything is verified essentially. There's no scam about it, okay? And they tell you you just won $1 million, right? It's already processed and it's gonna hit your bank in 5 days, right? You can't lose it. It's literally done. Like, it's guaranteed. Like, it will be fucking there, you know? Like, done. Now, watch what happens in your body when you imagine that properly. Your shoulders are gonna drop. There's no tension anymore. You basically stop stressing, right? You breathe calmly. Like, I'm good. You know, like I'm fucking chilling, right? Like, it's done. That it's already done energy you feel right there. That's abundance, my bro. That is abundance, okay? And that's what you need to operate from, all right? That's the day-to-day you need to operate from. That it's done, you know? I don't give a fuck. And then you only look at your state and your actions as proof, all right? And you'll make way more cleaner moves as well from that state, right? You won't overpromise, you won't undercharge, and you don't chase all these retards that aren't serious in the first place, okay? You're gonna be executing like a fucking weapon, bro. You're gonna be calm, precise, completely detached, and just focus so much on the inputs and the process instead of the outcomes. Because again, you already know that it's fucking done, right? And so the goal is not to wait for 100K a month to feel like that, right? The goal is to feel like that first, and that's when reality catches up, okay? Because again, the universe and the external stuff bends to your inner state, right? And when you hold that state of it's done, that's when things will start unfolding. But only if you stop looking at all these external outcomes as proof of it unfolding, of course. Like, only view your state and actions as proof. Become obsessed with the inputs and the process, and then the outcomes will basically just be a natural expression of that, okay? Now, the thing as well is that you don't fix this scarcity mindset thing by thinking positive, okay? You have to fix scarcity by killing off the identity that needs proof to feel safe, okay? So the first thing you want to be doing here is to get brutally fucking aware, okay? You start catching your scarcity mindset in real time, all right? Whenever you say, I need this client. If this month, you know, isn't 30K, I'm fucked, right? If this ad doesn't work, you know, I'm cooked. Like, basically every time you hear yourself saying I need, or else this will happen, that's your old identity talking, okay? And you have to label it, all right? Don't argue with it. Just have conscious awareness, you know, on a day-to-day basis, and realize that's scarcity, that's the old identity. The second thing you want to do is just detach from the outcomes, okay? Before a sales call, instead of thinking that I need to close this guy, you shift to I'm already good. I don't give a fuck if he buys or not, okay? Because I'm the price. Another thing I'd highly recommend that you do is to you just fucking affirm in your mind 24/7 that I don't depend on outcomes I can't control. I depend on who I choose to be, and the actions that I take is the only proof. And so, you know, whenever you feel panic or doubts or whatever, just sit down and breathe and remind yourself that I'm safe even if this doesn't work out, you know, like I'm good either way. I already have the clients, I'm already doing the fucking 50K months, you know, and so you basically shift your state to it's done, essentially. Now, another thing that you want to do is that you want to lock in a new identity, okay, and this is pretty much what we go very heavy in quantum consulting, the mentorship. But the thing is, like, you don't want to repeat in your mind that, you know, I make 50K a month, like a fucking NPC, alright? Like, you have to create a character, okay? You have to become brutally crystal clear on the identity in all areas of life. Like, how many times do you work out? Like, what's the dream physique looking like? Like, who is this version of you? How does he think about money? How does he react when the client doesn't pay the invoice? Does he fucking emotionally spiral into doubts? Or does he just call up the client and be cool with it and don't give a fuck, right? Like, how does he walk into the room? Like, what numbers does he see as normal, right? What does he do in his spare time? Like, how is he around women, for example? You know, like, there's a lot more to it, of course. Like, if you want a 50 question asking sheet, then just DM me 50 on IG and I'll send that over to you. It's gonna help you out a lot. And now, once you have this identity brutally clear, your only main focus on a day-to-day basis becomes that I'm this guy right now. Your only job is to act in alignment with it. Not to chase 50K or anything like that, but to be the person whom 50K is boring and normal, right? Because trust me, like if you had 50k in your bank account, you wouldn't give a fuck, right? It's the same when you go to Dubai and whip around in Lambos. Eventually it's gonna be boring, right? After 2 hours of me driving around in that Lambo, I got fucking tired of it and didn't drive it for basically the rest of the time, right? Because it became so normal to me. Like it's so crazy how quickly humans adapt and things become boring and normal. But trust me, like when you start operating from that identity, importance around, you know, specific clients or anything is gonna drop to zero, okay? Like external bullshit is gonna lose its grip. Like you won't even care about it anymore. And scarcity is gonna feel pretty fucked up, you know, like you'll instantly realize when you get, you know, some old identity thought in your mind, you're basically instantly gonna label it and be like, why the fuck would I think like that? That's not me anymore. And that's how you kill it essentially, okay? By basically just gaining a lot of conscious awareness, alright? Now, let me be like very fucking real with you as well, okay? You will never ever hit consistent 30, 50, 100k months while your nervous system is clinging to outcomes like a scared little fucking child, okay? Like, trust me, you might have a random big month, right? You might land a couple of big paydays and do some piffs here and there, but you won't sustain it, okay? You'll end up losing it and you'll basically self-sabotage. You'll burn out and you'll basically yo-yo back down, okay? And it will all happen subconsciously, okay? Because the version of yourself that you're being is calibrated for scarcity, not abundance. And nothing external changes long term until you kill off that old version of yourself and basically become crystal clear on the patterns that you had in that old identity, okay? And you know, in quantum consulting, this is literally like what we do with, you know, all the agency owners and our mentees. We go straight to identity, nervous system, recalibrate you to feel safe at 50, 100k months before it even shows up in Stripe. And then we basically just start stacking the boring stuff, start implementing the new systems, you know, build up the back end, high volume of sales close eventually, and basically just following the process on top of that new identity, okay, and viewing those new actions that you're going to be taking as proof of that new identity, okay? And that's why our mentees leap so fucking fast, okay? Because we change the root cause, and then they view the actions, you know, building systems and the hiring and all that stuff as proof of that new identity. And that's exactly how you escape the hamster wheel. But regardless of whether or not you want to be working with us one-on-one in the mentorship or not, I want you to stop tying your safety to outcomes that you can't control, okay? Like it's literally the one-on-one go-to strategy to fucking fail in business. Like trust me, like you have to kill the version of yourself that needs external things you can't control as proof and step into the version of you where abundance is just normal, right? And that's when the game flips and everything will basically change for you, my bro. So if you found this video valuable, boys, just let me know in the comment section below and DM me on IG if you have any questions about this as well. More than happy to reply with a voice note. So yeah, boys, make sure you like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace.